Hello folks, and welcome back to SnowRunner, my own hardcore version of it. For those of you on YouTube, you will have seen before the video started, you will have seen the hardcore rules. And it's just something to make the game a little bit tougher for me. And so far we're doing pretty good with them. Right now I'm in the nav star. And I came down to the quarry here. So I'll zoom out. So the quarry is over here. We're on Smithville Dam. And there is a trailer down here with two large containers on it. And I want to bring those containers and the trailer out. So let's go ahead and get started. Unfortunately, it's still nighttime. And part of my hardcore rules states that I cannot advance time. So I'm going to have to try to get these out of here. And I'm just right here. So all I did was, well, can't see it. All I did was basically come over here, hook up to it, and now I'm going to start pulling it out. Trying to get the trailer over on this side as close as I can get it. So far it looks like everything is staying with me. In my other playthrough I did pull this out with the Western Star. So I know the Western Star can pull it out, but I wanted to try this truck. The only real reservations I have about this truck is the fact that I don't have the, trying to concentrate here, I don't have the diff lock on it. I can't get that till I go to Alaska. So right now we have, so I've basically brought it up here and taken it around. Now I could continue to go around and go out, or I could attempt to go up this way and then make this turn and come around this way, and that's what I did with the Fleet Star. Or not the Fleet Star, but the Western Star. So I'm going to try it with this. Because there are some, if I continue on around the road, there are some sketchy areas and places where this trailer with this load want to tip. Oh, that wasn't good. And I could have went down to low gears, but what I'm also doing is trying to see how much this can actually pull. So it did pretty well. And we're about out of gas. Didn't even think about the gas. But what I originally was going to do was try to pull it up here. I have not done that yet. I've seen other people do that, and they're able to make it. But then I've seen people that's needed help to make it up. Alright, so we got a tippy area here. Truck always wants to go down the hill there. And I lost it. Dang it. Well, I thought I could pull through, and I couldn't. So it looks like I either have to bring a crane out here, which I don't have a big crane to lift this up, or we have to go to the island lake. So I'm gonna leave this trailer here and I'll make up my mind later on. Now, this truck has all-terrain tires, and it does not have off-road tires. So that's why I kept trying to slip down there. But I just wanted to see if it could make it up out of there with the trailer, and it would have if the truck hadn't slipped down too far. So I do have a couple other missions set up. Alright, so there is another mission, and it is... Nope, it's a Husky forwarding. So material order, and we'll go ahead and track that, and there is a metal beam from the... You get it from up on top of the mountain there. But I was already up that way, so I already hauled it down and took it to the quarry. So that's already completed. So now I just have 2 concrete slabs, and they go to the service hub, and 2 consumables that go to the preacher's house. So I will need 2 vehicles for this because the concrete slabs both take up 2 slots each. And the trucks are only, or the trailers are only 5 slots. So, gotta let that go. So I didn't think about fuel. I'm gonna go as far as I can, and then bring some fuel down here. Probably not going to be very far at all. I'm going to go ahead and release that truck. See if I can get up here around the corner. And I'm not going to make it. Alright. So back to the garage. And we'll get out our trusty rolling fuel tank. That's all I use this vehicle for, is a fuel tank. And you may notice from the last time I drove it, I did take the mud tires off of it, because it just handles like crap with mud tires on it. And I'm not planning on going through any big muddy areas with this vehicle. So it handles a lot better with these tires, the all-terrains. Now when we get over to Alaska, I will put the snow tires on it, or the chain tires. But again, I don't drive this vehicle very much at all. It's just way too tippy. And actually, I believe this is one of the worst scouts in the game. Mainly because you can't really do anything with it. It just continually wants to tip over. Everywhere you go, it tips over. And if you drop it down, actually with the raised suspension, it actually tips over less than with the stock suspension. But it still just tips over way too much. So I use it for its gas cans. Up here and get it out of the way. And I have seen other people use it. There we go. And they even seem to like it. But I just don't want to have to use the winch every time I get on some kind of uneven ground. To me, it's just ridiculous. I had a buddy of mine years ago that had one of those, and we used to take them up in the woods, and it never tipped over. It even had a suspension left on it. So it's just something with this game mechanics. Come on, you can do it. I was setting things up today, earlier today, and just fooling around with the game a little bit, and realized that I was very short on money. So I decided to make the run here of taking service spare parts down to the farm, and I think I ended up doing it 10 times in rapid succession, and ended up with enough money to buy another vehicle. So I will show you that vehicle once this mission is over. I was debating, and it's that mission right there on the right. I was debating on what vehicle to get, and I think I made the right choice. Actually, we can go on up here and turn down the road, and then I will go get the Kodiak and bring it the rest of the way. Bring that other piece. I was going to just deliver this and then go back for a slab. I thought that's kind of wasteful because I have the Kodiak. And it's the one that loaded this truck, so it could load itself. So, Kodiak. Kodiak is not a bad vehicle, and I would probably run it a lot more, but with a single rear drive axle, it just doesn't seem to do very well. Now when I get over to Alaska and get the all-wheel drive on it, then it does better, but it's still not a great vehicle. And I think the single drive axle back there really hampers this truck. So I really don't upgrade it. I have upgraded it fully, and I did use it in Alaska, my other playthrough. But it just doesn't seem to... It does good in snow and ice. Or, well, not really snow, but ice. With chain tires on it, it does very well. Mud, that's another story. Even fully upgraded, it still does not do mud very well. Yes, I do have the locking diff. But since I had that down there, and it already had a trailer attached to it, because you can't put the loading crane back here on the road and the flatbed on it, it won't hold both. I actually had to take a trailer down so that I could call the cargo up, so I could do the manual loading. fairly quiet truck. You can hardly hear the engine running. But I believe there's some trucks in the game that just aren't really worth having in the game. And this would be one of them. Again, just my opinion. There are others out there that may love this truck. Okay, let me get it turned around, and then we will go get the Navistar and finish this delivery. And you never know. You know, maybe this... Whoa, it's a lot of smoke. Maybe the vehicles in the game are the only ones they could put in it because of licensing issues. Which would kind of suck, because I would love to see, you know, an old 80s, early 90s Jeep Cherokee in here. I think that would make a good scout vehicle. And, oh, wait a minute. Where am I going? I'm going to the preacher's house. I'm delivering right here. Alright, $5,000, that'll work for me. Up. And I think I have already accepted this, but I'm going to make sure, because that's my next mission. Just take care of this. And I have not. So we'll start tracking. And I will back this out of here. Get it over here out of the way. And the mission after that is this one. Alright, so let me introduce you to my newest vehicle. What I consider the best scout in the game. And it is the International Lodestar. So the International Lodestar, let's go to the garage and let me show you some things about the International Lodestar. So we'll just go to the truck store. And I had debated on whether to get the Caterpillar, which I really like the Caterpillar. Once it's fully upgraded, it is one stout vehicle. I really like it. Or the Lodestar. I chose the Lodestar because I had some of the upgrades already, but you also have the add-ons. So you can only get 3. You can get the pickup chassis, you can get the service cab, which carries a lot of service parts but no fuel, or you can get the loading crane. So that can help you out in a tight spot, because this vehicle can go just about anywhere in the game. So let's go back to it. So right now I've got almost all the upgrades on it. The only upgrade I'm missing is the raised suspension. So I'm not running the tallest tires. Once I get that raised suspension and get the biggest mud tires that I can get on here, then this truck is a beast. It carries with it 150 repair points and 3 tires, which is really good. It does drink the fuel. And something that I didn't notice in my other playthrough until I'd probably, played this maybe last 15 episodes of my other playthrough, was that it actually has fuel cans in it. And I discovered that totally by accident. I didn't think it carried fuel, just repair parts. And I had to use these 3 tires for another vehicle to fix it up. And when those disappeared, I noticed the gas cans. So it actually carries almost a half a tank of gas with it. Let's see. And I never noticed it said refuel down here. So it carries 27, well, a little more than half a tank. So it carries 27 gallons, and a tank in this is 35 gallons, which, had I known and paid attention, would have saved me a lot of grief in my other playthrough. So this isn't as good as it can be because it has the smaller tires on it. I do have the biggest engine in it. And I do have the upgrades. It is all the time 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and the diff lock is on all the time. So let's take a look at our mission here. What I've done, I just drove it straight down through here, or no, actually I drove it out here, and then I drove it through the mud here to see how it would do without the suspension lift on it, and it does okay. Not great, but okay. So our lost trailer is over here, and we need to deliver it up to the preacher's house by the gas station. And I have tried to go through here before with other vehicles and had issues until I figured out that I can go right through here. So when you start seeing the water, just take you a little left here. And you have to push through some trees. Yep, I pushed too hard. There we go. Well, I thought we were going. Alright, so the first time I did this mission, I brought the international... Easy now. The international scout down here, and tipped over twice just trying to get out to here. Just one of the reasons I hate that vehicle. Then I brought the Chevy pickup out here, which it did really well. Came straight out here, and I backed up to the trailer, and there's where I stayed. Because once you get into that box there, you're done. I next brought I had to recover it. Down here just a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Had to recover it, and I did have the what is it? The Hummer. So I brought the Hummer down here and basically had the same issue. The Hummer would not go through that mud. So I brought this down here, and I realized I use the winch and don't pull all the way down in there. But you have to be careful to pull it away from that tree, because if it gets hung up on that tree, you got to go way off to what would be you got to come way off over here to pull it away from that tree. But with this vehicle, and you can attach a trailer to it. So you can haul your Scout trailer, both the dual slot one and the single slot one, and you can also haul the Scout fuel trailers with this vehicle. And it does all of them very well. I would not recommend the single axle Scout trailer, because that thing is so bouncy and so unpredictable when you pull it that you end up just pulling your back end all over the place. So we will go up here. Yeah, maybe. To the left. And then to the right. Okay, let's get down here where I can see. What am I banging on? Nothing. And this is a full fuel tanker. And as you can see, even without the suspension upgrade and the biggest tires, this beast will haul it up out of here with no problems. The only time I've ever had issues is right in here, getting over those rocks. So the best $39,000 you'll spend in the game. And for some reason I was thinking I couldn't even get this until I got to Alaska. Because if you don't buy it, the first time you're going to see this vehicle is in Alaska. And there's a mission where you have to hook up to one of these and pull it back to be fixed. But you don't get to keep it. So this is one of those vehicles, if you want it, you got to buy it. And here's the problem with these smaller tires. Now if I had the suspension upgrade on it and the big tires, it would have went through there with no problems whatsoever. There is very little that will make this thing stuck. I also use it as my primary Scout in my other playthrough in Russia. Oh, well, I can go through here. There's, right there, if you can see on the other side of these two trees, there's a little road that goes through there. It's much easier. And I missed it. But you can see it right through there, a little trail. And there's only been a handful of times that I have ever flipped this thing over. And you can see it just chews through all this mud and rough terrain. Alright, more money. And it's a pretty fast vehicle. For a scout, it does really well. And with the suspension upgrade and the bigger tires, that rock would not have done damage to this. Now with the, if you put, I usually ran it with the service cab, and it didn't seem to be as good with the service cab. And then it dawned on me where the back end sticks out so much. That was a problem. The back end was getting, the service cab was getting stuck on stuff. So I decided to go with the pickup, and it just made a world of difference. Like I said, this is my favorite Scout, and I believe the best Scout in the game. Hooking a trailer up to it really does not slow it down, and it does really, really well. So now that I have a little bit of money, there's something else I wanted to do to it, and that's put the flashers on. Why? Because I want to. And it makes it look a little more badass. I actually didn't think this was going to be a good vehicle until I got it and figured out the little quirks about it and the things that you need to know. And yeah, it's turned into an awesome vehicle. So there is another, where are you at? Right there. The Unlucky Fisherman. So I'm going to head that way and pull that out. So I had thought about just driving down here, but again, I like driving this, so we're going to take her cross country. Ooh. Okay, so taking a little bit of damage, but I am going faster than I normally do down here. And it likes being on its wheels. So any of the other Scout vehicles, once I did that, they would have rolled on over. And the good thing about the pickup bed is I have parts in it. I can fix myself up. But I can't remember. I want to save those parts for the fisherman's truck, just so I'm not pulling dead weight. Yeah, not having the suspension lift and the bigger tires, you gotta be a little bit careful with it, which is what I'm not being right now. I totally missed my I was thinking I was over on the other side, where you got to make a right and go to the right a little bit to get to the rocks. Okay, so where am I heading? I am going to head... Where's the truck? There it is. So I'm going to get up here. I'm going to go that way. And I thought there was a little way down here. Maybe it's down this way. Or it might be here. So I'm going to try this way first. And see if I can get straight down there. I think there's a little road. And where's my road here? Off to the left. Yeah, once I hit Alaska and get that suspension upgrade and the bigger tires, you will see me throwing this truck all over the place, and it can handle it. And that's probably one of the reasons why you can't get the suspension lift here in Michigan, because that would just be way overpowering. I want to head over that way. Get a little more speed up here. Stupid tree limb. So the road's off to the left. Not really a road, but it will serve as one. Uh-oh, and I think I needed to go that way. And there's the truck I'm going to recover. And provided I can get through here, I may have screwed up. So I normally come along that edge right there, and it has no issues. Come on. It is not going anywhere. It's backing up just a hair. Which may be all I need to go a little further to the right. Now I may have to get the Western Star out here to get it out. If I'd have took the normal path and just came down along those tree line there, this wouldn't have had any issues. But I got it out here in too much mud, and it does not have the lift kit on it yet. So let's go ahead back to the Western Star. After I make this delivery, then I will go out and pull the lodestar ahead probably about 3 feet, and then it'll catch. Won't have any more issues. So the one we're doing now is the essentials. So need 2 bricks, 2 wooden planks, and 2 fuel. So right now I have 2 fuel on here. Oh crap, I didn't pack it. I brought the GMC over and loaded it, and then took the GMC back. And forgot to pack the cargo. And I hauled a trailer over here from Black River, and it's just been sitting here with 2 wood on it, and now I can use it. And I didn't get the mission up here. There we go. So I'm quickly running out of missions on this map. I do have probably 7 more tasks to do. So I think I'm getting ready to head over to Drummond Island and start Drummond Island. I want to save Island Lake until the end, mainly because it's my favorite map to run on. Followed closely by this map. Alright, so I need 2 block, 2 bricks, and this mission will be done. And I'm going to go up and drop this trailer off. So I'm not going to complete this mission in this episode. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get set up for, I've got 2 other missions to do. Get set up for those for the next episode and go get the lodestar, pull it a couple of feet forward so it's not stuck in the mud anymore. And I still have to get the Kodiak back to the warehouse so it can load up the 2 bricks and whatever truck's going to deliver it. So if you liked the episode, leave a like. If you have any comments that can help me out, any suggestions how to make this better, I'd appreciate it. Let me know what you liked, let me know what you didn't like. Maybe there's some things that I can change in the way I do stuff. And I will see you in the next episode. So until then, have a good one.